He had a one-shot lead. He had the world's best player right next to him. And on the very last hole, everything changed in 6 seconds. What you're about to hear is the story of how a quiet kid from Norway walked onto a golf course full of water, pressure, and the loudest crowd of his career, and did something almost nobody saw coming. Stay till the end, because the final hole of this story is the part nobody is talking about yet, and it changes everything for Sunday. Before we dive in, if you're someone who loves real sports drama, not the fake hype, not the clickbait nonsense, but the real human moments behind the scoreboard, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel exists because of people like you who actually care about the story behind the score. It costs nothing, takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps us keep telling these stories the right way. So go ahead, tap subscribe, and let's get into it. Saturday afternoon, Cromwell, Connecticut. TPC River Highlands. A golf course soaked in water hazards and history. The kind of place where one bad swing can cost you a tournament, and one good swing can make you a legend for a weekend. Viktor Hovland walked onto that course 2 shots behind the #1 player in the world. Scottie Scheffler. The guy who's been sitting on top of the golf world for what feels like forever. The guy who almost never blinks under pressure. And Hovland was paired right next to him, group of 2, no escape, no hiding. Just him, Scheffler, and a golf course built to punish mistakes. Now here's where it gets interesting. Hovland didn't wait around. It took him 4 holes, just 4, to erase that 2-shot deficit. 3 birdies in those 4 holes. Boom, boom, boom. The kind of start that makes a crowd sit up and pay attention. By the time they hit the middle of the round, these two were tied, trading shots, trading momentum, like 2 boxers feeling each other out before the real fight begins. Then Scheffler did what Scheffler does. On the 14th hole, he hit a lob wedge that landed 2 feet from the pin. Simple. Brutal. Effective. That put him back in the lead. And on the 15th, a reachable par 4, Scheffler pulled off a chip that floated up the slope on the green and just trickled down right next to the hole. The kind of shot that makes commentators go quiet for a second before they start talking fast. So going into the 18th hole, it looked like business as usual. Scheffler in front. Hovland chasing. The story writes itself, right? Except it didn't. On 18, Hovland made a 6-foot birdie putt. Clean. Confident. The kind of putt you make when you stop thinking about the leaderboard and you're just playing golf. And right after that, Scheffler, the same guy who just hours earlier hit a wedge to 2 feet, 3-putted from 25 feet on the fringe. Bogey. Just like that. A 2-shot swing on a single hole. That's the whole tournament right there. Hovland walks away with a 6 under 64. Scheffler shoots a 67. And suddenly, the kid from Norway has a 1-shot lead over the best golfer alive, heading into the final round. Hovland sat down afterward and said something that tells you exactly who he is. He said it had been a while since he'd been in this position. Going head-to-head against the best player in the world, pulling off some great shots, he said it was just a lot of fun. Not stressful. Not terrifying. Fun. That word matters more than people realize. Because most players in that spot talk about pressure, about nerves, about trying to survive. Hovland talked about enjoying it. And here's something that genuinely surprised him too. The crowd. Scheffler is massively popular, there's no getting around that. The gallery at TPC River Highlands was loud for him all day. But Hovland had backup of his own. A group of Norwegian fans had actually driven over from Boston, straight after watching their World Cup team lose to France, just to be there for him. And at one point near the 18th green, they started chanting, "Row, Aro, Aro," a Viking rowing chant, while the American side of the crowd answered back with, "USA, USA." 2 crowds, 2 chants, 1 golf course, all in good fun. Hovland even laughed about it afterward, saying it's the first time he's ever actually seen that chant happen live, and joked that it took Norwegians 1,000 years to finally figure it out. But don't get it twisted. This isn't really a 2-man story anymore, even though it might look that way. Hovland himself said it best. He admitted that he and Scheffler have pulled away from the rest of the field, but he was quick to point out that anyone sitting at 14 or 15 under is still very much alive in this tournament if they go out tomorrow and shoot something low. His exact words were that if they don't bring their best game again, they're going to be bringing a lot more guys back into contention. And that's not just him being polite. Patrick Cantlay shot a 64. Akshay Bhatia shot a 67. Both of them sitting 5 shots back, which on a course like this, where low scores are very much possible, is not a safe distance at all. Now let's talk about what makes this whole situation so loaded heading into Sunday. This is actually the 2nd year in a row that Scheffler has fallen from the top of the leaderboard going into a weekend at this exact tournament. Last year, it was way worse for him. He opened with a triple bogey, shot a 72, and fell 9 shots behind early. So by comparison, Losing one shot on one bad hole this year is nothing for him to panic about. He's been here before. He knows how to claw back. And Scheffler isn't running from it either. He came out and said this course is one where you can see big numbers get shot, that guys can go low, and that tomorrow his only job is to go out, execute, have a good round, and see where that puts him. Calm. Measured. Exactly what you'd expect from the world's number one. So here's where we sit heading into the final round. Hovland at 20 under, one shot clear. Scheffler right on his heels, hungry, looking for his first win since the start of the season out in the California desert. Cantlay and Badia lurking 5 back, fully capable of shooting something stupid low and crashing the party. And a golf course that has already proven today that nothing is settled until the very last putt drops. Think about what Hovland said about his own mindset, because it's actually a pretty important detail people are going to skip over. He said the score itself isn't really what drives him. He's extremely process-focused. He said that once he finds a certain feel he trusts, one that produces a reliable shot shape, he knows he's going to score well from there. Whether that ends up being 2 under or 6 under or 9 under doesn't matter as much to him as actually seeing the shots he wants to hit and executing them. The score, in his words, is just a bonus on top of doing it on a stage like this, in front of that many people. That's a different kind of pressure response than most golfers talk about. Most players are managing fear. Hovland sounds like he's managing focus. And when someone's mental approach is built around process instead of outcome, that tends to hold up better under pressure, not worse. So what actually happens on Sunday? Does Hovland hold his nerve with the entire golf world watching him try to beat the best player alive head-to-head for a second straight day? Does Scheffler do what he's done so many times before and quietly claw his way back into the lead late in the round? Or does somebody completely outside this duel, somebody like Cantlay or Badia, go out and shoot something in the 8 or 9 under range and blow the whole leaderboard wide open? Nobody knows yet. That's the honest truth. Even the players themselves don't know. Hovland said it himself, 14 or 15 under is still in this thing if somebody goes low tomorrow. This tournament is not decided. Not even close. If this story pulled you in, if you felt even a little bit of that tension building toward the final hole, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button before you go anywhere else. We're going to be covering the final round outcome the moment it happens, breaking down exactly how it ends, who cracked under pressure and who didn't, and what this means for both of these players going forward. You do not want to miss that follow-up. Drop a comment right now and tell me who you think wins on Sunday. Hovland riding this wave of confidence and fun, or Scheffler doing what champions do and finding a way back to the top? I read every single comment, so let me know what you think. Thanks for sticking with this one all the way through. This is exactly the kind of sports story we love telling on this channel. Real pressure, real personalities, real stakes. If you want more of this, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you in the next video.